Hi everybody, Cellini here. Hope you're having a great week. Have a good weekend. Want to go over some real basic workstation ergonomics. We're all working remotely from home. You got to adjust things a little bit to improvise and adapt to make things fit, to make things work for you. I've had a lot of people questioned proper workstation alignment, posture, ergonomics. So I just want to go through some real basics for you. When you're at your station, try to find a chair. Now, I've got a pretty high chair, I'm pretty tall. I've got a leg support here for my heels. Now, if you look, basically, I've got right angles everywhere. So if I just had my feet here on the floor, I would have a right angle in my knee joint. So basically, there's a right angle there. It's just a little less flexion now, but I'm still in support. My thighs are about even. You can balance a glass of water here, and a right angle at the hip joint. All right. Now, if you look at my elbows here, ideal is a right angle again, so all these right angles or a little bit less. You don't want to be working uphill. That's going to cause the carpal tunnel syndrome and give you other problems, shoulder and neck. So either right angle here or a little bit downhill. Now you want to be close enough to your workstation where you don't have to reach out or lean, so you want to have those 3 bowls of water. I always talk about pelvic girdle, rib cage, and head in alignment in this malosternal position that we always talk about, right? You want to have your screen at eye level here. You don't want to be bending down and looking down. Now, I like to sit at the back of my chair where I have a nice low back support. For chairs on the floor, the one place, and this is a very firm chair, but a lot of the chairs, and you might be working at home, you might not have an ergonomic chair, but the worst place anytime to sit, in your car, a workstation, anytime you're sitting in a chair, on a couch, is in the middle, where most people sit. That's going to be the soft spot. It's going to cause your pelvic girdle to tilt, your back to round, your shoulders come forward, and your head out, causing all kinds of problems. So what you want to do is sit to the back of that chair, sit up on the coccyx bones, get that bowl of water here, pelvic girdle even like a bowl of water, rib cage and head as we mentioned, right, and work from there. So I would have, for now, being at the back of the chair, I have to scoot up a little bit to make that work. However, if you're in a lower chair, so imagine I'm in a lower chair now, my feet are on the floor, right, you can get right to the front of that chair also, and it will tend to, if you get right towards the front, it will tend to prompt your pelvic girdle in a proper position. Now this is a little high, but a lower chair I would be at a right angle, and again, the front part is going to support you and actually put your pelvic girdle a teeny bit forward, but keeping you from doing this pelvic tilt the wrong way, hurting your back, right? So front of the chair, back of the chair, those right angles. Now if you notice, I've got ergonomic devices here, pads, for when I'm using the mouse and also when I'm using the keyboard, right? So those are very, very important things. Home, we're all working, my kids are working from home, my wife's working from home, so headsets, right, with the mic, that's going to help a lot too. You always want to think about that posture. So it's not bad to lean back in your chair, but I would be a little more forward, to lean back in your chair and work. But look at my 3 bowls of water. Keep them even. Or, if I wanted a smaller chair, especially close to the floor, so I'd be lower, right, even with this screen a little bit more. So you can also lean forward. But again, tilt that pelvic girdle. Imagine a pull straight through your body. Rib cage and head are still in alignment. What you don't want to get forward is to round or to take your head out. So there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of an angle in working. To take the pace off, the muscles working always straight up, a little bit of an angle back. Again, I would adjust forward, 3 bowls of water, just so you don't have that neck out of alignment, causing stress and tension in that neck. So very, very simple, guys. Very, very simple things. Those little tips, those right angles, 3 bowls of water, malosternal position, keeping that hand either even or a little bit lower. Use some ergonomic pads, get your headsets in there, stuff all works. Now I want to show, just review, I've talked about this before, just a few stretches you can do right at your workstation. So guys, remember, take those workstation breaks, have my time, do things for yourself, but very important, do little stretches. So I'm just going to show you real quick, again, right at your desk, right in your chair, you can get up, walk around, stretch, do other activities too, but you can do quick little stretches, just 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, break time during the day several times. So again, what we want to do is sit with a nice posture, keep our shoulder blades down, we're going to come up, keep space. Tendency when your arm goes up is to lift up the shoulder blades and create tension here. You want to pull the shoulder blade down in the back, keep space, work just with your arm. Support on the other side. You want to elongate your stretch up and over. Opposed to pinching the neck off, think of elongating like a fountain of water up and over. Now I can just stretch like this with my hand loose, and start with my neck, and then I want to elongate the spine. Let's go with the spine as well a little bit. Okay, that's one way. But if you hold here and support, there's a counter stretch. You just pull gently, not a lot of muscular force, but just pull gently. So kind of a yin-yang, an opposition. As if someone were stretching me left and right here, I'd be stable in the middle and get stretches from both directions. So you're getting a counter pull here, support, and it's going to really help you feel the trapezius in the shoulder on this side, not just the stretching here. So elongate, up and over, let the body follow, stay very relaxed. Breathe and release. That releases tension. It helps to stretch. We've gone into that on my stretching videos and life in general, how important the breathing is. When you get to your end range and it feels good, just let go. Then you keep this angle, lateral flexion, this lateral stretch, and you slowly rotate, looking over your shoulder towards the floor. Breathe, release. Breathe, release. Breathe, release. Keep the body tall. Don't collapse. Breathe, release. And I'm going to go a little bit faster. What you would do this slow and just come back to that lateral stretch. Now I'm going to go up, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release, and look up over the shoulder towards the ceiling as far as it's comfortable. If you pinch off or get tight, you went too far. You can hold a spot when it's tight, breathe, release, and get it to let go. You want to come back to that lateral flexion where you started and then come up. And then, of course, you would repeat everything on the other side. Now, I'm going to show you sideways here, but basically, again, you're going to sit tall and keep that malosternal position, 3 bowls of water, and you're going to think like a fountain of water. Try to go up and over. Don't just tuck your chin, you'll pinch the vertebra out. Elongate. Again, think that fountain of water. Go up and over, up and over. Don't round your shoulders and just stretch. This is flexion of the cervical spine. Don't let the rest of the body follow. And just breathe, release, breathe, release. Takes all that tension out of the neck and upper shoulder blades and upper back. Now I've touched my chin, but I elongated first. So I increased the space in the disc of the upper cervical disc. Now I just want to roll up like a cobra rolling up or a snake rolling up and elongate those vertebrae to the ceiling, right back to lateral flexion. Now, I like to hold a right angle here or hold my knees just for a little support. Now again, if I just go back and lift my shoulder, just go here, I'm going to pinch the vertebra. So what I want to do is, again, up and over like a fountain of water. Think of my head going up towards the ceiling and then back, trying to maintain regular posture. That's why the hands are here. Go back to a comfortable stretch, and then if you have long hair or not, breathe, release like you're shaking your hair. If you had long hair, breathe, release, shake it loose. Breathe, release, and again, up and over, breathe, release till it's comfortable, increasing the space in the disc. If it pinches, you get uncomfortable, you went too far. Again, if you hit a tight spot, hold there and just slowly breathe until it releases. The lateral flexion with the rotation, both directions. We had the cervical or spinal flexion. Come back to extension, this would be hyperextension. All right, then you come back to center. Now we're going to do lateral rotation. So I'm going to do a counterbalance here like you would with some like yoga stretch. So if I'm going left, the right hand comes across to the left, a counterbalance here. Elongate, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release. Tight spot there for me. Deep breaths, let it go. Tight spot, breathe, let it go. You're going to find every time you take a big breath and release, you're going to get a little more distance, showing you how important and critical that breathing is. And of course, come back, I'll go fast just for the sake of time, but going to the opposite side. Okay, shoulders back. This is really good to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. We get very tight in here working on the computer, so these stretches are very important. So what you're going to do is just grab about right here on that upper joint, and you're going to elongate and stretch out. You're going to hyperextend your elbow joint, but not with a lot of force. Just gently. Normally I tell you in my videos with fitness and exercise, do not hyperextend your joints. This is the only time I say to do it because you're not adding a lot of force. And they'll get a nice stretch in the bicep. Remember, we have those radial, ulnar, and middle nerves coming down. We want to stretch all those out. Breathe, release. I'm just going to go a little fast, but breathe, release, and hold. Don't let the shoulder blades come up. Opposite side, of course. There's another one you can do. Keep the elbow here and just gently breathe and stretch the wrist. I'm going a little bit quick right now just for the sake of time. Great. We can go out and pull in this way. elbow, shoulder. Don't bring the shoulders up, just in and out. Another good stretch. And here, reverse. So we had this one, we're going to reverse it and do a little stretch down. Elbow joint, wrist. I'm a little tight in there today. This is a good one for me. A little rotation. And you can do little standing stretches, right? Again, keep the shoulder blades down. When you reach up, if you reach with your arm, you're going to pinch the neck. So what you want to do is kind of freeze the arms and think of your ribs stretching up. Push down with your hip and your right foot into the floor as the right side goes up, but I'm reaching with my rib to go up here, and I can do a counter stretch here. So notice I haven't gone up in time yet because I'm thinking of my rib taking my arm to the ceiling. Look at the difference when my arm goes up. I just want to take my whole rib cage up and pull my hips down, and the same on the opposite side. All right, you can stretch back, a little bit of knee bend. You can do this also at your desk, keeping that malosternal position. All right. Little hip circles are good, just a couple times around each way. Come in, bend your knees, good posture. Get those knee joints, they've been frozen in that chair for a while. Let them work, even working your arches a little bit, just releasing, let those nerves in the feet open up a little bit. Okay, so we can do the rotation here as well. Keep your hips forward, where it's not a true stretch, and you just breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release. And opposite side, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release, breathe, release. Keep the stomach real tight. Again, up and over, arch back, up and over. Keep the knees bent a little bit. Arch back, arch back, arch back. Here's another good one here you can do at your desk or standing as well. And a nice shoulder blade stretch back. Keep the chin in. Don't let the head go out when you work this stretch. So just a few little things you can do there. Spend 1-2 minutes every hour, every couple hours, and I'll guarantee you'll feel better. Workday will go better. Energy levels will be better. Keep the central nervous system flowing. If you need anything, give me a call, guys. I'm here for you 24/7. Be well. Have a great weekend. Cellini out.